hey, can the root cause of the fear of failure or the fear of success coming from our childhood but more related to our school system? So the school system or our educational system basically was like dividing up humanity in classes. So let's talk about that in this video. And I want to share my own personal story of what I've learned and what I've been through during my own years in school, which was far away from pleasant. So yeah, that's why I want to cover up this topic, because I think a lot of rebellious people or sensitive people went through maybe similar experiences, and maybe we still have certain type of thought patterns that is affecting right now certain type of habits or behaviors that actually might come from these early stages in our life. And this video is actually also more like very related to my last two videos, because in my last two videos, the previous one, I spoke about, you know, the fear of responsibility. So I think this is also very related to that video. So if you have not saw that video yet, then I also highly recommend to check out that one. And also the one before that, which was about identity crisis. Okay, so you know that video was also, you know, that we have created all sorts of images for ourselves that are basically like way out of alignment of who we really are. Okay, so that from early stages in our life, that from our parents, our you know, school system, we have not been very encouraged to really believe in ourselves. So that's why I want to cover up this topic, because you know, if you become more aware of that, because that's why this YouTube channel about mindfulness and personal development, you know, to become more aware of yourself and to grow more into who you really are. So if I can go back to, I think it already started in primary school, because first I went to a Catholic school, because my father had a Catholic upbringing. So I was there the first 2-3 years, and then we moved somewhere else in town, and then it was actually more convenient to go to a local school, which is, you know, basically walking distance. And that school was like a Christian school. Now, if you believe in any kind of religion, then of course you have my blessing, but that kind of religion did not really work for me, because I was really against it. And why I was against it? Because when I was in second grade, I was very playful, because in second grade you're still, you know, playing in the garden, playing with you know, playing outside and having fun and doing creative things. And as an outdoor person, as a creative person, I love being outside. So when I had to move to third grade, you know, then the things becomes a bit more serious. Then you have to learn mathematics and languages and writing and reading. So most of our times we're like sitting inside in the classroom, doing things I did not really feel like doing. And maybe no big surprise, I am a feeler. So I go with how I feel like it. And if I don't feel like something, then you know, I'm like, nah, you know, can't be bothered. Or I get into resistance, even worse. And of course, what I did during the time, I went into resistance. So as a maybe not so self-aware person, as a child, of course I went into resistance. Now, I think that most teachers, they are being taught to teach a specific kind of topic about something, writing, reading, languages, mathematics, and I don't really think they get trained very well in psychology, so, or human behavior, or dealing with feelings and emotions of others. So it's more like, you know, hey, you are just a child, you have to listen, go there and, you know, do what you're told to do. And I was already like that. If someone tells me what to do or what not to do, or, you know, you're less than me, okay, so you already get like separated from others, or you get like, you know, pushed down, I become furious. Okay, so that was my behavior during my primary school. I was like constant into resistance, and I wanted to fight and I wanted to push against the system, and that worked really against my favor. So the third grade I had to do it all over, because of all my resistance. I did not want to get along with it. And then the rest of the years, you know, we also had to do things that we had supposed to do regarding to the religion, you know, like reading the Bible and writing down the Psalms and whatnot. And I was really like, I do not want to do that, because I see that in this religion there's a lot of separation involved, you know, like people are getting divided from, you know, from those who believe in it and those who are not, and people are getting praised who are doing well, and those who have different beliefs or feelings or ideas, they get separated in another class. And because of that, that really impacted me in a great way when I actually was leaving primary and I went into high school, because I was such a rebellious person, also because of my upbringing at home and home situation and divorce with my parents and that sort of things. I think you are already aware of that, because I already spoke about that in my other videos, especially in the last one about identity crisis. So that really gave me more anger and more frustration to a whole lot of things, and I felt like I was not really recognized at home for who I was, and home situation was like a constant survival, and I wanted to express that anger and frustration into the school system, because I felt like these people were not really praising me either. So that's where I was kind of like I became even more rebellious, and that really caused me that I was really put into really the lowest level of education levels. I can explain you the details for how stuff works in the Netherlands, but that probably would not really make a whole lot of sense. But long story short, I would probably have never make it until the university, because that would take me probably like 2 decades to grow into that, because of all the levels I had to, you know, climb up to. Because after high school there's like 2 levels of professional education. One is called MBO, which in the Netherlands stands for middelbaar beroepsonderwijs, which means it's like middle level professional education. And once you have completed that, then you can then go to HBO, hoger beroepsonderwijs, which means it's like higher professional education. And then when you have completed that, which the MBO is take like 4 years, HBO another 4 years, and then eventually you can go to university. So there's like a lot of levels, you know, a lot of steps you need to climb before you get like, you know, fully recognized for your own talents, for your own skill sets. And the funny thing is that right now I share my life with a woman who has like a master degree, and we are kind of like at a similar level, maybe on an intellectual level. And I never really got to any of that levels, because from a very young age I got constantly, you know, pulled down, like you're not good enough and whatnot. So that created, of course, a lot of beliefs, like maybe I am indeed not good enough, maybe I am unworthy, maybe I should fear the feeling of failure, because then, you know, I get more divided, I get more separated, and that sort of things. Or maybe I should not strive for success because I cannot really make it, because, you know, I am projected all sorts of ideas of you know, what kind of level I am positioned at. So just to give you an idea, again, it's not really so much about me or my story, but more about, you know, what kind of educational system you went through. Did you went through similar experiences? You know, did you have teachers that actually were more pulling you down than lifting you up, or did they really recognize you, or they like punished you for not getting along with the others, or not getting along with the system and the education, you know, program, and you really had to conform, and you really had a lot of resistance about conformity. So it is very interesting to become very aware of that, because maybe, you know, right now you still have like certain type of thought patterns or beliefs or feelings or emotions that were actually projected on you in your early stages of life. So that's why it might be a good idea to really to think about this again. And so really the assignment I would like to give you right now is have a thought about that, and just let me know, drop a comment below this video and we can talk about it, and then we can also see how we can start to work on that to, you know, to align yourself more with your own interests, talents, skill sets, abilities, confidence, beliefs, self-worth, and all these beautiful things. So go ahead, let me know what it is that you went through and how is that currently affecting you right now. And I really look forward to hear from you, and until next time, take care for now. Bye bye.